Hey guys, welcome back to 247 DIY. And just like you read in the title, I got a lift for the shop. I'm super excited to show it to you guys, so let's take a closer look. So yeah, I gotta say guys, a lift for the shop is something that I have wanted for so long I can't even tell you guys. There's only so many projects you can do underneath the car, laying on your back, before you really get sick of it. I think the biggest pain in the butt that you guys saw on the channel was when I had to replace not once, not twice, but 3 times, the transmission on the Forester. You can check those videos out if you want to understand why I had to go about it 3 times, but that was kind of when I really knew that I needed to get a lift for the shop, but I haven't had that kind of extra money laying around to throw into a lift. So I was sitting around one day and a family member on my wife's side contacted me and said, "Hey, do you want a lift?" And I said, "Absolutely, but it's going to depend on how much you want for it." And he said, less than $1,000. And I was sold right then and there. I mean, I wasn't expecting this condition. This lift's basically like brand new, but either way, under $1,000 for a 2-post lift, ridiculous. So pretty much once I said, yeah, we got to work. I went out there and we took it down together. And I have you can see it over there, just a, what is that? That's a 5x8 trailer, just a utility trailer. My Forester doesn't quite have the oomph to tow this. I think each one of these uprights, rough math, about 500 pounds a piece. The whole package, you know, about 1,000 pounds if I remember right. So I brought the trailer out, and the family member on my wife's side brought his truck out, and we just hooked the trailer up to his truck. We loaded it on the trailer and we brought it to my place. I was gonna have him come over so we could try unloading it, because these things are heavier than hell. But I got excited and I figured I could probably do it myself. So this is how it looked when we got it here, when I parked it in the barn. And I threw some jack stands up under the front end and I chalked the wheels, and that allowed me to slide each one of the uprights out. And you can see it there. I slid them out. Jack stands are just keeping the trailer from tipping. And I have this kind of, this came with the barn when I bought it. It was originally like a tool chest. I broke it down and it just turned it into a wheelie cart. But I was able to strap down the end of the column onto that so that could move around. And then I got my engine hoist. And this is the heavy end down here because this has the arms and the hydraulic cylinder and everything in it. So I just used the engine hoist to lift it up and lower them down on the ground. And basically I set them into position. You can see here, this was just a mock-up of where I wanted it. The cables aren't even connected there, but that was all me. I didn't think I'd be able to do it on my own, but I was able to get it all set up there, as you can see. So then came on to the mounting, which wasn't too hard. I'll explain why I'm saying it like that in a minute. But I just jumped on Amazon and I got some of these. It was from they're not like knockoffs. It was from a reputable lift parts and supply vendor on Amazon. I believe these are 3/4 inch. Don't quote me on that, but I believe these are 3/4 inch concrete studs, 5.5 inch length. I think that seems to be like the standard. When it came to drilling the holes, I'll mention I lucked out too. I was worried about the concrete, but I drilled a few spots out here, a few random spots, just to make sure I didn't get, a deep spot or a shallow spot. And the concrete was all 6 inches thick, which is great. This particular lift wanted a minimum of 4.25 inches, but it also wanted reinforced concrete. So my shop here is divided. You can see there's a door back there. It's a 40x80 barn. The back half's unfinished. So basically all I did was I went to where the concrete stopped and I took a sledgehammer and I just broke a chunk out, and I was able to see that this is steel mesh reinforced concrete. So that was a huge plus. I thought I was gonna have to cut out pads, reinforce this, but I didn't need to. So then it came time to drill these studs. And I thought I'd be able to do it with my DeWalt hammer drill here. I've used this in other videos on the channel and around the house multitude of times, nothing for holes these size. It drilled about 2 holes, and I was wearing shorts that day, and on the 3rd hole I noticed I felt something hot on my leg, and turns out it was melting inside of there. It overheated and it was shooting bits of molten plastic out at my leg, and even if I threw a battery in there, it doesn't do anything now because the plastic dried in there and it's just completely seized up and toast. So I ran to Harbor Freight real quick, and I just picked up this, I think it was like 80 bucks, this Bauer hammer drill. Nothing special, you know, corded, because I wasn't trying to spend a ton of money. I just wanted to get the project done. I went with this bit, picked this one up at Lowe's. It's made for cutting concrete as well as rebar, if you encounter rebar. And I knew I was probably going to hit some of those metal wires from that wire mesh that's in the concrete. So that's what I used. It worked good. This isn't like a super top tier hammer drill, but it did the job no problem. So I was happy with that. And then I just used the level, made sure everything was plumb. I used a couple of shims. I ordered a shim kit on Amazon, but it seems like the standard shim kits that come for, you know, these lift installs are these plastic shims. I'm sure they're up to the task, you know, otherwise why would it be the standard now if it was, you know, the plastic wasn't up to the task. But this had metal shims, horseshoe shims, that I did save when we took it down. So I just reused a couple of those. Didn't need a lot of shims, but I did need, I think, one on this side, and I think either one or two on that side. But that got that project done, and ran conduit over to it, which is pretty cool. I already took it down. There was an outlet right here on the wall when I bought the barn that had a 220 volt outlet in it. I honestly thought it was just a regular outlet that they just pulled the outlet out of for some reason, and I put a standard like household outlet in it and plugged my shop vac in and found out quick that it was not 110 and in fact 220. So I already had the breaker for that. It was the right amperage and everything. So just ran conduit from the box over down, and we got our lift. So you're going to see this in upcoming videos. I'm really, really excited. This is going to be huge as far as getting projects done. This is a bit in the future. I've already used this once for a video that's probably going to come out. Honestly, I've got a backlog of stuff that I need to film, so it may be a month before you actually see the first project on this lift. But I can't tell you how stoked I am, guys, to finally have a lift for the shop. It's going to be huge for the channel, huge for me, and yeah, that's that. So I know this isn't my normal type of video. It didn't show you the actual install. Normally, you know, my videos are how to do something, but you got a glimpse of how I went about it, and I'm more or less just showing this off because it's going to be a great improvement for the channel. So as always, guys, feel free to give the video a like, leave a comment if you want to, and if you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe for me. Thanks.